Hello everybody and welcome to the first design review of Car Design Dialogues Asia 2021. My name is Michael Nash. I'm the Deputy Editor at Car Design News. Now, when I think of car design in China, I often immediately think of large practical SUVs that can fit the whole family in the back. But what about those customers that are looking for something a bit different, something a bit thrilling? Well, SAIC thinks it's got the answer.
You've got new messages in your mailbox.
Hello everyone, my name is Shao Jingfeng. I'm VPO Design of SAIC Motor Technical Center. SAIC Design now have two design studios, Shanghai headquarters and Advanced London. The team brings together more than 300 designers globally. After more than 10 years, we have become the most important force in field of automotive design in China. Now we are responsible for three brands, Roewe, MG, and R Auto. SAIC Design headquarters is located in Anting, Shanghai, China. And in London, we have another advanced design center, providing international design perspective. As a global brand, MG always gets a lot of attention. Many people ask me a question, when do you make another MG sports car? It's not an easy question. To find the answer, we need to think more. Every car designer has a dream, a childhood dream. Look at their desktop. There's always a cool sports car pictures. Passion is the most important thing for designers. For me, it's the same. My biggest dream is to drive a sports car, design by myself, and take my children to school every day. From 2020 to 2021, SAIC Design is always exploring the right way to make a real sports car of the future, and do our best to make it into production. The car behind me, MG Cyberster, is the answer. MG Cyberster is a teamwork between SAIC Design Advanced Shanghai and Advanced London. It is the first global MG project showing our global design power. Istria was designed in UK. They have better knowledge of sports car history. Interior was designed in China because we know Chinese market better. Clean model, digital model, and show car were all complicated in Shanghai. The final show car is a pure European roadster styling. Long hood and rearward cabin show a classic sports car proportion. Big wheel and short overhang make the stance solid and dynamic. We call the front face a wind hunter. The graphic is from MGB and the back area serves as air tunnel. It is feature round headlights. We call it a magic air because it can mimic human air interactions. From the side view, the two-stage shoulder line starts from the hood and stretches directly toward to the door panel. The second part goes around the rear hunks and finishes at the sharp corner of the tail. This shoulder line shows both speed and tension. Emotional surface is another key feature of Cyberster. Beautiful surface transitions bring sensual reflections. After rear, slim tail lights are integrated into the comeback tail, showing a strong digital image. Double arrow direction indicators are like a super icon to catch people's eyes. 5G chips is located at the anti-rolling bars, which are like two after bonus. As to interior, we call it digital fiber. IP and console are very narrow and lightweight, forming a driver-centric layout. The interior of Cyberster is closely connected to the exterior. We can see the red body paint on the rear door panels. There are 3 screens in MG Cyberster. The cluster is a one-piece curved screen with key information in the center and live stream video at both sides. The long console screen is at the center, offering safety console and vehicle status. There's also a screen on the steering wheel showing music and other entertainment. To show immersive gaming environment, interior components are designed with e-gaming styling. Steering wheel is like a joystick and the zero-gravity seats are like robot armors. The Cyberster is a bold statement that looks strongly into MG future, touching on heritage, but more importantly, building on our technology. We also raised a crowdfunding project to let more customers come in and build the production together. In less than 10 days, we have completed our funding target, which means MG Cyberster concept car will become production very soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much to SAIC for that awesome film. It's now my pleasure to introduce Xiaojing Feng. Hey, Xiao.
Hello. Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. What a pleasure it is to have you here with us at Car Design Dialogues. I want to ask, really, in the film there, you talk about your dream of designing a car that's a sports car and driving it, the one that you have designed yourself personally. Did you ever really imagine that this sports car would be as striking and unique as the Cyberster?
Yes, it's quite exciting. I'm always pushing sports car project in our company. I put so many times. and you know it's not so easily. Somebody understand and somebody don't understand, and somebody support and somebody not support. So it's very normally in our big company, and we have to pursue our management. I try to push them, and I leading my team have to find the market evidence, and we have to design a really exciting study to catch people's ear in the Shanghai Motor Show. At that time, I think as long as it's a sports car, that would be fun. But the final result already exceeded my expectation. Not only me, many of our designers wanted to buy a Cyberster when they see the final model. So this is really good result.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you can really see the passion in the film as well with all the designers. There was that little bit where you drove into the design studio and you kind of waved out of the roof of the car, and all your team was clapping and cheering you on as you drove the Cyberster into the studio. Could you maybe talk a little bit about the passion behind the team?
Okay. You know, many people know there are always a dream to build a sports car in SAIC design studio. In 2017, we present MG Emotion concept car at the Shanghai Motor Show. It is a two-door, four-seater GT sports car that represent our earliest MG sport car ideas. So in that month, since the concept car was released, reporters include the globally report from all over the world come to Shanghai, come to my studio, and so there's really strong interest. So this gave us really strong confidence. All of the emotion, you know, MG emotion concept car didn't go to the production. There are multiple reasons. You know, a big company deeply discussed. But our design team never gave up. From 2020 to 2021, SAIC design team is always exploring the right way to make a real MG sports car of the future and to bring it into production. We're doing now.
Yeah, fantastic. That makes a lot of sense. So has there been a change, do you think, in China? What kind of made you want to build and create this sports car? Why now?
Sorry, why now? Okay. Since 2009, China had become the world's largest auto market. All kinds of cars and SUVs are in a huge market. All global brands, you know, big brand, famous brand, are looking for opportunities in China. However, sports car segment has never really come into our life. In the past, sports cars are only for the rich people. For us, it's just a dream. So this, of course, has something to do with Chinese culture. You know, Chinese people focus on family and communicators. So when we buy cars, we ask ourselves three questions. Is it safe for my child? Is it space enough for my parents? And which color does my wife like? So in the past, if you drive a noisy sports car on the street, people regard you as a very important word, rich second generation. This is not a good word in China. So buying a sports car isn't just about money. It is something social question. You know? So if we use one sentence to describe Chinese market, is we buy cars for others, not for ourselves. So of course the marketing is changed, totally changed now, and very fast. So Chinese family are buying more and more cars. For me, I drive so many cars. Even my colleagues also drive not one, or the second, third, or fourth cars. For many customers, they buying, after third, fourth cars, they think more. So they will ask question, will you buy a big tools at this time? Of course not. So when the basic demands are fulfilled, it is time for us to focus on our own dreams. So nothing else, our own dream to express yourself. So the time is coming.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you think, who do you think would buy the Cyberster then? Are you propositioning it towards a certain age group or people that are living in a certain place in China? Who do you think will buy the Cyberster?
Okay, it's a very important question, and my boss asked me so many times. He challenged me. Yeah. So I can tell you my experience here. In overseas market, we all know that young people buy second-hand cars. I don't know, still now, it's still like this. And the new expensive sports car are usually for elder people. I still remember my experience on German Autobahn. Wide speed at 250. A fast car just passed me at maybe 300. So, which was driven by a white-haired old woman. So, in Chinese market, we don't have that experience. When we do sports car project, we usually thinking young people is the best target because they are physically and mentally strong. They have the right image. But that's a problem. Young people have no money. The economic price on young people today is still great. So in fact, the most potential buyer is the old boy. Our children have grown up like me, have a little saving. Body condition allow ourselves to do some strong physical activities. One of my best dream is to drive a sports car designed by myself and take my children to school every day. The old boy have time and money to enjoy sports car. Will not catch the last bus. I don't know if this word is correct. To catch the last bus to realize the dream of freedom. For us, the old boy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And with the the open top of the Cyberster, I can imagine that feeling of freedom would be very strong. Do you think that the electrification of a sports car is a really important factor as well?
Yes, I think politics and regulations have limited the development of sports car in China. And for sports car culture, this is not good news. Yeah? But when EV arrived, EV cars very popular in China. So its problem will be solved if you buy EV car. So we can make a sports car being affordable, high performance, and compact. And EV also change sports car image, So when we drive petrol sports car, some people love the engine sound, but for most people, it's quite noisy. It's so off. So electrification gives sports car a low profile, which means you can drive fast without disturbing others. In turn, we say that sports car is a new way of designing EV. What's the most common idea when making EV? One is the biggest passenger seat, So we call it the queen seat. Another one is a share space, a big space to get shared for a friend, so family. So these ideas are not wrong, since the EV structure free up the space, making it more like a moving living room. But why can't EV be more personal and private? Always talk about space for EV cars, but for me, I leading a team, I give her new ideas. I think we need to focus EV for personal and private, because engine change to EV. So when we talk about driving cars, we are talking about our instinctive desire, and sports car is the ultimate expression of our ideas. I don't think in the future private driving will disappear. It may become more and more rare and more high-end. So people think about a lot of what kind of car they will drive in the future. So the time is, I think it's correct now. We need a sports car for a race car custom, the young custom now.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of times the personalization and customization, and actually, if we look inside the Cyberster, there's I think the thing that stands out to me is the curved screens and the haptic sort of area on the center console. Could you talk a little bit about the design of both the exterior and interior of the Cyberster? I think you mentioned in the film that the exterior was done in London at your London studio, and the interior was done in Shanghai.
Okay. Now, SAIC Design is a global design team. We have a headquarters in Anting, Shanghai, and responsible for brand design strategies and all production development. And also here we have best facilities in China. And in London, we have our European Advanced Design Center. Designers are from different countries. The different cultural background bring new inspirations to design. Carl and Rob are leading a team. So they focus more on the latest design trend. They always make some advanced concept design to show new direction for our three brands, Way, MG, and R Auto. So in the development of Cyberster, UK design team designed the exterior. They draw inspiration from classic MG sports cars, and they know how to turn classic to future. This is your culture, you know, your background. And the interior was finished in China. Sports car is a complicated new segment for Chinese customers. And we know that the traditional Western way of doing sports car is to make the interior simple and tight. But the Chinese customer love internet things and the premium feeling. So our team in Shanghai bring interactive gaming experience into the interior design. It looks quite new and high tech. So this really global work. I think in the future we will do a lot of projects like this. So not only for MG, but for another two brands, we also invite the London studio to support globally.
Look forward to seeing that work. The other thing I wanted to touch on, Xiao, again, thinking about the interior of the Cyberster, there's clearly a big influence from the gaming industry. Everything is very digital in there, and you have this almost like joystick-like steering wheel. So I wondered if you could talk a little bit about the influence of gaming on the Cyberster as well.
Mm-hmm. So the interior designer for the Cyberster, and I bring one boy and one girl. They really like to the gaming. So one lady designer, they are really good at and get really good award for gaming. So when they designed this interior for Cyberster, they tell me a lot of experience for how to play the game. So if you see the interior of Cyberster, you will see a curved screen and the steering wheel cut the top. I don't know if you feel maybe not so easily to control the car, but it is really normal way when you play a gaming. So they try to push me to accept this idea. Some OEM also build a similar design of this, but our team also think about really early. They try to push me, ask me to agree with this kind of design. And some button, very sport button. We bring a lot of button to the screen, and also console very thin. It looks very light. It's not so heavy as sports car. So for myself, I get a lot of suggestions from young car designers. So it's very important for our teams. In the future, we will listen to more close to the young designers. They will bring a lot of things, not only from car design, they will from gaming, from architecture, from some areas of phone design. So they will join to our team, bring us more crazy idea. Maybe not only for car design. So we will combine together in a SAIC brand. So in the future, you will see a lot of really crazy idea, and also I have tried to push London design team think about not only the car design. You need to give us more overseas thinking, more trend. So this in the future, the global SAIC design team will focus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to hear the importance of young designers, I think. Xiao, I think I've got one last question for you, and it was hinted at in the film, but can you just tell us a little bit about the future plans for the Cyberster?
So in Shanghai Motor Show, we raised a crowdfunding project for Cyberster. In less than 10 days, we achieved our goal and started a Cyberster production project. So this production version will keep as many concepts as possible. And we will invite the customer to join and co-create production. So I believe it will be a sports car with fun and affordable to most customers, include the British customers. We will sell this car globally.
Great news, amazing stuff. Xiao, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, and amazing to see and hear all about the Cyberster. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stick with us here on Car Design Dialogues. We've got loads more content coming right up.